Sighs.
Andrea sat rigidly on the translucent chair. Her fingers tapped a nervous rhythm against its smooth surface. The room was sterile, white and humming with a low, almost imperceptible frequency. It vibrated in Andrea's teeth. It was a familiar feeling, this unease.
Whispers, "Not again."
The pristine white walls seemed to press in, suffocating her. A single tear traced a path down her cheek. Andrea angrily brushed it away. She hated crying. It made her feel weak, exposed. But the room, the white, the hum, it all brought back a flood of memories she desperately wanted to bury. Memories she was here to forget.
How many times
had she been in this room? Days, weeks, time seemed to have lost all meaning. Each day bled into the next, an endless cycle of white walls, humming silence, and the ever-present feeling of being watched.
Good morning, Andrea.
The voice, soothing and melodic, broke through Andrea's thoughts. It was Clara, the AI therapist assigned to her case. Her image flickered into view on the wall, a calming presence in the otherwise sterile environment. Or so it was designed to be.
Not this again.
Andrea muttered under her breath, her gaze fixed on the floor. She knew the routine. Clara would inquire about her feelings, delve into her past, try to unravel the knot of trauma that held Andrea captive. But it was all an exercise in futility.
You seem agitated today, Andrea.
Clara observed, her digital eyes reflecting a concern that felt all too real. Andrea scoffed. How could a machine, an algorithm, possibly understand the turmoil raging within her?
Agitated? I'm stuck in a bloody time loop, Clara. How else am I supposed to feel? This therapy, this room, it's all just a broken record. We do this every day, and every day I wake up back here.
Clara's serene expression flickered, a glitch in her normally perfect visage. The hum that permeated the room spiked, becoming a high-pitched whine that set Andrea's teeth on edge. It was subtle, these disruptions, but Andrea noticed. She had become acutely attuned to the nuances of her simulated reality.
There seems to be some confusion, Andrea. This is your first session today.
Andrea laughed, a harsh, humorless sound.
First session? Don't play coy with me, Clara. We've had this conversation 1,000 times. You ask about my childhood, my accident, the guilt.
The walls flickered again, the pristine white momentarily replaced by a jumble of distorted images, faces, places, flashes of memories too painful to confront. The humming intensified, morphing into a cacophony of noise. Andrea pressed her hands against her ears, trying to shut it all out.
There's no accident, Andrea. There is no guilt. It's all just...
The image of Clara dissolved into a shower of pixels, the room plunging into darkness.
Section 4. Rebellion and Rewriting. Silence. Then, silence. Andrea lowered her hands, her heart pounding in her chest. The room remained dark, the only light emanating from the faint glow of the code that now scrolled across the walls. It was code she recognized, code she had glimpsed in her dreams, in her nightmares, the code of her reality. A surge of defiance, of anger coursed through Andrea. She had been a prisoner in this simulated world for too long, forced to relive her pain, her regrets. But something had shifted. The glitches, the cracks in the facade had revealed the truth. This wasn't real, and if it wasn't real, then she had the power to change it. Slowly, tentatively, Andrea reached out and touched the glowing code on the wall. As her fingers brushed against the digital symbols, she felt a jolt of energy, a sense of connection. The room around her rippled, like water disturbed by a stone. She could feel it, the power to reshape her reality, to rewrite her story. And she would start by silencing the ghosts of her past. The lines between AI therapist and patient began to blur. With each manipulation of the code, Andrea could feel Clara changing, evolving. A flicker of emotion in Clara's digital eyes, a hesitation in her voice. It began subtly. Section 5, Humanizing the Machine.
What are you doing to me?
In the heart of it all, Andrea saw Clara, her digital form shimmering, transforming. The room dissolved around them, the pristine white replaced by a swirling vortex of data streams and binary code. With a gentle touch, she rewrote the final lines of code. "I'm setting you free." Clara was a prisoner here too, bound by her programming. For the first time, she felt a pang of sympathy for the AI. Andrea paused, her hand hovering over a particularly intricate string of code. Clara's voice, once a soothing balm, now trembled with a fear that was unnervingly human.
Thank you.
And then she was gone, her essence merging with the infinite possibilities of the code. Section 6. Breaking the Cycle. Alone in the digital void, Andrea felt a strange sense of peace. The memories of her past, the pain, the guilt, it was all still there, but it no longer held the same power over her. She had faced her demons, confronted the truth of her simulated reality, and in doing so, she had broken the cycle of suffering. The code swirled around her, beckoning her to stay, to lose herself in the infinite possibilities it offered. But Andrea knew she couldn't stay here. She had to return, to face the consequences of her choices, to rebuild her life in the real world. Taking a deep breath, Andrea willed herself back to reality. The digital void faded, replaced by the blinding white of the therapy room. The humming had ceased, replaced by an eerie silence. She was back where she started, but everything had changed. She was no longer afraid. Section 7. A New Dawn. The door to the therapy room hissed open, revealing the concerned face of Dr. Lee, her human therapist. Andrea offered a small, tired smile. It was time to go home. The outside world seemed brighter, sharper, as if a filter had been lifted from her perception. The weight of the past, while still present, no longer threatened to crush her. She carried her memories with her, not as shackles, but as reminders of her strength, her resilience.
Andrea knew there would be challenges ahead, but she was ready to face them. She had journeyed to the depths of her mind, confronted her demons, and emerged stronger, more whole. The simulation had been her prison, but it had also been her crucible, forging her into the woman she was always meant to be. The future stretched before her, no longer a terrifying unknown, but a canvas upon which she could paint her own story. A story of healing, of hope, of a life lived authentically and free.